Man, happy birthday to Lisa Bonet. Lisa Bonet turned 57 years old. Time flies. I remember seeing her first time on the Cosby Show. And I was like, who is that? She is pretty. But Cosby Show is great. Cosby Show still should be on. There's a lot of good life lessons on that show. But Lisa Rashad was the standard because she was cool and smart and sexy. It's like, man, like if I ever get married, I want a Claire Huxtable. Like Claire Huxtable was the standard. I feel bad for young men because I don't know who the standard is right now. What older lady on TV is the standard for them when they want to get married, if they get married. But there was Denise, right? You had Rudy, Theo, and Vanessa, and then you had Denise. And it's like, wait, Denise is light. Everybody else is brown. But again, my grandmother was like that. My grandmother was light, and her sister was like brown, and their other sister was dark, so it could happen. But the look that Lisa Bonet had back in like 84, 85, 86, that was like an unheard of look back then. Like you could watch any hip-hop video today, and you see a young lady who has this look that we're looking at. But back then, with the full lips and the dark eyes and the curly hair, man, that was something special. And even like when we get to a different world, like Cree Sumner's with her look, and then we flash forward, like then we go to this Fresh Prince with Karen Parsons, her look. Those are unique looks back in like the late 80s, early 90s. But today, like I said, it's almost like commonplace today. Like a Lisa Bonet look today is almost not even special anymore because there's so many young ladies who look like that. But back then, that was something else. So then they spun off Lisa into a different world. And listen, season 2 on with Debbie Allen, Different World is a brilliant show. Brilliant. The pairing of Jasmine Guy with Kadeem Hardison, brilliant. But I got to say, that first season is underrated. Yeah, it was kind of clunky, but there's a lot of things you just didn't notice back then. Like Jaleesa. Jaleesa was an older student in college. Like, now I was in college when the show was on. So that really didn't register to me. But there was a guy in my sociology class. We called him Cab Calloway because he was an older guy and a slick back hair. And we called him Cab. But we probably shouldn't have done that. We were just being dumb freshmen. The fact that someone older like that would come back to his college in the late 80s to get his degree should be applauded. But we're just dumb dudes. But yeah, the whole Jaleesa character starting over, because I think she was married and came back to school. That was something. Marisa Tomei was a white girl on campus, which was almost like crazy sounding back then, but now you see white kids on HBCU campuses. And the even crazier thing is that Marisa and Lisa was only on there for 1 year, and they became lifelong friends after that. And I think Marisa is actually Zoë Kravitz's godmother, which is just crazy because they were only on there for 1 year, but I guess they vibed pretty hard. And I also enjoyed the pursuit of Dwayne Wayne going after Denise. I felt for him because it's like, you know what? I would see a Denise from afar. It's like, I can't get her. But shout out to Dwayne going after her with the flip-up glasses, man. The only thing separated from me and Dwayne was that he was really good at math and I wasn't. So Lisa gets written out after season 1. I think at that point she's pregnant with Zoe because she had gotten with Romeo Blue, a.k.a. Lenny Kravitz. I remember when Lisa got with Romeo Blue, I was like, who's this guy? Romeo Blue, what type of name is that? They said he's a music artist. Music artist, please. Yeah, flash forward like 30 years later, I'm the biggest Lenny Kravitz fan. Yeah, he changed his name from Romeo Blue to Lenny Kravitz. He dropped Let Love Rule. And I was like, man, this guy is good. This guy, he's like Hendrix meets the Beatles. Like, this guy is really good. He's really, really good. So shout out to Lenny. And then Lisa would come back to the Cosby Show. They would marry her off. She would have a husband that was in the military. I never quite got that. And then that's when we see Raven-Symoné. I never got that pairing because Denise always felt like she was like a free spirit. And I never got her being with a dude that's in the military. Her with Dwayne actually made more sense than her with her husband. But it worked. I mean, it was fine. It just seems like that was just opposite of a type of dude that her character would have married. And then during that time, also, she did Angel Heart. And when I was in college, I was a freshman, I think. Freshman or sophomore? Freshman, I think. And we had these mentors. And they invited us to the Cultural Center and said, we're going to watch Angel Heart. And it's like with Lisa Bonet and Mickey Rourke and Robert De Niro. And, you know, it's a very explicit movie. And I was looking around and they were drinking. I was like, are we supposed to watch this? I'm so young and impressionable. Good scene though. Good movie, but she caught a lot of flack from that. And she had there was a great cover of her on Rolling Stone magazine. And I think when Zoe was on Rolling Stone, she copied it. And Zoe's a cute girl. She is, but man, her mom was special. So then Lisa and Lenny breaks up. Lenny writes, "It's not over till it's over," trying to get her back. Damn it, I would have wrote that song too. I would have been begging for years. He tried, didn't work. And then I think Lenny's been engaged a couple of times, but he's never gotten married. Like I think he said recently, because I think he turned 60 this year. I think he said that he's ready to get married. But him and Lisa got divorced like in their early 90s. And the fact that he just finally now saying like he's ready to settle down, whatever he had with Lisa, he couldn't find again with anybody else. She just seemed like she actually had a cool spirit, man. She was like rebellious. It's almost like she was pretty. She was rebellious. She had a cool spirit. It makes sense that she's friends with Chris Sumner, because Chris Sumner has a cool spirit vibe to her. Marisa Tomei has a cool spirit vibe to her. But yeah, she's just, and to be honest, I really don't know Lisa's family background. Like I never, because she really doesn't do too many interviews. Like we know that Lenny Kravitz's mom is Roxy Roker, you know, Helen from the Jeffersons. We know that story, but I really still don't know much about Lisa. I know she had like a bunch of brothers and sisters or something like that, but she's really a low key type person. And then down the road, I think she was in High Fidelity with John Cusack. She would be in the Enemy in the State with Will Smith. And I'm sure that people was trying to get her to back into film and TV, especially after Enemy in the State. She was good in it. It was a small role, but she was good. I'm sure she was getting tons of scripts, but it seems like she was happy being a mom. She was happy being a mom to Zoe. And then she gets with Jason Momoa and they have a couple of kids. That's all. That's from a dude standpoint. I'm looking at her as like, man, that's like quality over quantity. You go from Lenny Kravitz to Jason Momoa. That's pretty darn good. But then they got divorced. But yeah, like I'm sure she had scripts over the years of people wanting her to work again, but she seemed like she was happy being a wife and a mom. It's so different today because, you know, they convince young ladies you can do everything. You could be a boss, diva, and all that stuff, which is totally fine. You can do that. But then I always felt like, well, what about the kid? And the kid's usually about taking care of the nanny or the grandparents or something like that. And, you know, Lisa Bonet took a different track. It's like, hey, I'll do this once in a while, but I like being a mom. Shout out to Lisa Bonet, man. Turned 57 years old. Time flies. So between The Cosby Show, A Different World, Enemy in the State, I think she was in High Fidelity. Name me your favorite Lisa Bonet project. I gotta say, it's A Different World. Yeah, it wasn't peak era Different World, but I enjoyed it. Because, I mean, you never saw HBCU TV show like that on campus. And nobody, like Dwayne Wayne was just a regular geeky guy. He wasn't a thuggish dude. Like he wasn't a cool dude. He was like me. Like I could relate to that guy. Even though Kadeem in real life, man, had strong game. Strong game. But, I connected to that guy. So happy birthday, Lisa Bonet. Man, if I was Lenny Kravitz, man, I wouldn't get married either. Until I found someone that was close to her. Let love rule.